Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Creative Life Studios. Today we're going to be playing in our Delusions art journal, and today we're going to be using just a bunch of random leftover pieces of, or I guess prints from gel press that I had to start our background. I just sometimes play, or when I'm working on techniques for their YouTube channel and that kind of stuff, I just end up with all these prints. So I thought it might be fun just to kind of rip them up and just have fun and use them just to layer in my background, just to kind of begin adding some texture without having to like paint the whole background or paint a bunch of texture. So this is a great use if you've got any kind of prints or printed paper just kind of hanging around. And so I'm going to be using my Deco Art Medium Matte Gel to put that down, and a foam brush. I am starting to run low apparently on my my matte gel from Deco Art Media, so I'm going to have to, I guess, go get some more soon. I was having to stick my brush really far down in there to like get to it. And so you can see this is giving me just a lot of really good texture and a lot of really good just images. And I'm not trying to leave any of them whole or really be able to see them. They're just all about adding just some darks and some lights and some textures and some colors to my background. I'm going to go ahead and get in a little bit closer for you there now that we've got that going. And of course, I'm going to get this completely dry so that once I start adding all of my layers, I will be able to just kind of go to town and not have to worry about accidentally getting it stuck in matte gel or anything like that. There'll be a complete list of all of the products I'm using down in the comments or description, I guess, not comments. Today is really just going to be all about a play day and just having fun with these colors that are in these prints and these textures that are in the prints, and just going to town and having some fun with some different colors of paint and a few different stencils and stamps, and just really just enjoying time playing in my studio. So I'm just going to start by grabbing my paint palette paper. If you're not familiar with it, it's just a slick paper that allows you to get more movement out of your paints and mediums that you're using, because it has that slick surface. It's not going to absorb into it, so it's going to give you more bang for your buck as opposed to using, say, like a paper plate or a piece of paper or something of that nature. I am actually using some brand new colors that I just got from Dina Wakley and Delusions Paints. And then this is a stamp from Joggles. It's from the Elizabeth St. Hilaire collection for them. And like I said, this is just all about just playing with colors and playing with textures, and just really kind of just having fun and just goofing off and trying some stuff. I also am using a stamp there from Art Foamies. I liked it because it was very just all about just texture and lines, and that kind of made me happy, and so that's why I bought it. These colors that I'm using, let me grab them real quick so I can see what they are. So the green is Lime from Dina Wakley. The turquoise it's called Turquoise from Dina Wakley. And the other two colors are Lemon Zest from Delusions and Rose Quartz from Delusions. So those are the four main paint colors I'm using for this. Right now I'm just using that yellow just kind of as a splattered kind of effect accent. And you can see, you still see my gel press prints just kind of popping through there, and just giving it just nice texture and just definition and a little bit of color. I'm obviously going to continue to add tons and tons of layers because that's my jam. But I wanted to make sure that this base layer was completely dry so that when I did start doing stamps and that sort of thing, I did not end up pulling up any of those images. This particular stamp, let me see if I can find it. Oh, I don't know where it is. I'll find it. It'll be in the comments. But it's from Picket Fence Studios, and I love it because it kind of reminds me of a wave seashell kind of thing, but not really. And I didn't go for straight square prints. I really just wanted hints of that in that black archival ink, just to begin to build up layer and build up textures on my print. And you can see it's just a little here, a little there. I thought about putting that right there, and then I decided, nah, we good, not gonna do that. So I'm just gonna continue just to add texture And so I grabbed some washi and just adding that, just to continue to build up layers. And I went ahead and used my stamp back on top of it just to make sure that washi blended in with my project. And then I had these leftover Rubons from another project. I'll leave a link to that right there. These are actually from the Dollar Tree, so I had a video on Dollar Tree Bible journaling, and they're kind of random, and you only get one of every letter, so it's really difficult to make anything out of it. So I thought they would be good for this project, just to kind of give just some texture and fill in some gaps and that kind of stuff. Wasn't really trying to do any words. I was just trying to use up a supply that I happen to have sitting on my desk. And so I think that's a great use for that, or maybe random old stickers or that kind of thing. Love me some Rebecca Meyer. She is such a sweet spirit, and this is a stencil from the Crafters Workshop. And I'm just going to use an old gift card. This is a gift card from a restaurant that we never got to use because it closed before we could use it. So I figure, free art supply. And I'm again just using that turquoise just to kind of scrape through, again, just to continue to add texture and add depth. And here's something that I like to do. I know a lot of people don't, but whenever I'm heat gunning something like this, I like to get really close, and you can see, there you go, how it starts to bubble, because acrylic paint is basically just plastic. So by adding that heat, you're going to get some bubble, you're going to get some texture. Obviously, just be very, very careful of how long you leave it on there, because we don't want to catch anything on fire. But I really do like the texture that it adds. So this alphabet stencil is actually from the Dollar Tree. Again, if you haven't checked out your Dollar Tree, it's super fun. And then these are just Equate makeup sponges that I absolutely love because they're super cheap and you get a ton of them in a package. Like, I think these were like $6 or $7 and there's 100 of them. So if I leave them out and they get gunky, I'm good. So I'm trying to figure out the best way to put my letters, and I kind of realized that what the title I wanted to use was not going to fit vertically or horizontally, across the page. So I'm going to go in and just try something a little different. And I'm just taking my makeup sponge and just some black paint from Deco Art and just stenciling those letters in. I kind of got that Y and that O just a smidge close to each other, but that's okay. Isn't that the fun of Bible journaling or journaling in general? That it doesn't necessarily matter about perfect. It's about just getting those feelings out there and making something cool and just releasing those inner creative whatevers. So I decided that in order to do the words I wanted to do the words "you are beautiful," that I would have to break up the word beautiful. And if you are my age, you know all about Ace Ventura, and so we all think B-E-A-U-T-ful. And so that literally is what's going through my mind. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you're probably a lot younger than I am. But that's kind of what I was going for, is that idea of B-E-A-U-T-ful and kind of keeping those kind of separated. And I do like this particular stencil, the letter stencil, because it kind of gives that graphic Subway kind of feel. And then I went in also with that same thing and added some black. And I did try this Yellow Delusions spray. However, I didn't really feel like it did anything. I think my background was just too bright. But I am going in with the White Delusions just to kind of break up all the bright colors I have. And I wanted to kind of cover up, I did not want to get on my black letters, so I kind of covered it up with a rando piece of paper that was on my desk. Just so that black stayed pretty pure. And so I'm going to go ahead and dry that because I wanted to be able to go back in with a white pen to make those letters pop even more. But I didn't want to get it all gunky because my black was maybe still a little damp. Y'all, my craft heat gun is a savior sometimes, especially when you're like me and always running late. So that's me. So this is I never know if I'm saying it right. It's the Posca. I'll put a link down below. It's their white pen. I've really kind of fallen in love with it. A lot of people recommended it. I'm still kind of getting used to it because I don't tend to use paint pens a lot because I'm annoyed by them because they always get gunky and gross. But this one's been good so far. But what I did realize is that I wasn't depressing the nib enough to get the white to flow. And once I did, I definitely got a much brighter and wider line and emphasis that what I was really wanting. So you can see me just dabbing it over there on the side just to keep the paint flowing. I could probably do it on the journal page, but since I'm not super familiar with this particular pen, I didn't want to do something wrong. So I'm just outlining all of those letters just to give them some pop and a little more oomph against the page of all of those bright colors. This kind of goes along with a blog post I did on my blog, carriesilly.com, just talking about this idea of how we need to, I don't know, just be careful how we talk to people as women of the church, and how just because one person does something different doesn't make it wrong, and that we are all beautiful, and the way we choose to kind of give that to the world can be different. And so I'm writing, don't let anyone tell you differently. And then I'm also writing words like loved and wanted and worthy. Anyway, if you want to check that out, it's on my blog, carriesilly.com. And I'm just adding some scribbles just to kind of give some more emphasis and fill some space. And I think we are pretty much done. So thank you guys for joining for this Thank you for joining me for this play day in my studio. Come back every Monday and Friday for more videos, and I will see you guys next time. Make sure you subscribe. Thanks. Have an awesome day.